we still don't know a lot of interesting things about our planet, Earth. This is especially true for locations that are far away, challenging to get, and where the weather is arid and unwelcoming. This makes Antarctica one of the planet's most enigmatic locations since it is a frozen desert that is cold, inaccessible, and full of unsolved mysteries. The continent is so enormous that it would seem as though researchers are only now starting to delve into its huge borders and undiscovered riches. The most fascinating Antarctica facts have been assembled by one internet user. If you have the courage to travel there, the South Pole has a lot to offer, including a berth that will live on in the Guinness Book of Records, tinder matches, arid regions with the greatest meteorite count, and bloody waterfalls. In fact, the more you learn about this continent, the more enigmatic it appears. The first and only tinder match in Antarctica was made by an American scientist. An American scientist working in Antarctica made the decision to sign up for Tinder one chilly, lonely December night just for fun. He was curious as to whether there were any women on the desolate, frigid continent. The scientist first saw no profiles, but after enlarging the app's location radius, he discovered someone, a different researcher who was only a 45-minute helicopter trip away. The first Tinder match on Antarctica occurred after he swiped right, and they matched a short while after. In certain areas of Antarctica, it hasn't rained or snowed in 2 million years. Around 1% of Antarctica's land mass, 4,000 kilometers or 2,500 miles, is always free of ice. These regions are known as dry valleys or Antarctic oases. According to estimates, these regions haven't experienced rain or snow in about 2 million years, making them some of the world's harshest deserts. By the end of the 21st century, ice-free areas in Antarctica might increase by up to 25%, according to a study conducted by Australian scientists. The biodiversity of the continent might be significantly altered as a result. In Antarctica, there is a waterfall known as Blood Falls. No real blood is flowing there, so don't panic. East Antarctica was flooded and a saline lake was created there 5 million years ago as a result of rising sea levels. Glaciers developed on the lake's surface after millions of years. The water below got saltier as they froze. The subglacial lake beneath Blood Falls is currently 3 times saltier than seawater and cannot freeze. A lot of iron is present in the water that feeds the Blood Fall, which is located beneath Taylor Glacier. When this iron-rich water is exposed to the air, the iron oxidizes and turns crimson, producing streaks that resemble blood on the ice. Antarctica has the highest number of meteorites in the world. Scientists claim that meteorites almost always land in the same places. However, moisture and oxygen would corrode them if they dropped in a humid jungle environment. In the exceptionally dry environment of Antarctica, rusting is practically unheard of. In addition, the white, ice surface of Antarctica makes it easier to see the rocks. Last but not least, occasionally mountains or other impediments block the East Antarctic ice sheet's passage to the ocean. Strong winds and sunshine may vaporize the top layers of the sheet if it remains stationary for an extended period of time, exposing much older ice and significant meteorite concentrations within. Since 1976, more than 20,000 samples of rock from unidentified origins have been gathered in this manner. Antarctica has 70% of the world's fresh water. Antarctica is home to 70% of the world's fresh water and 90% of its ice. Around 200 feet would be added to sea levels worldwide if all of the Antarctic ice melted, 61 meters. Antarctica's average ice sheet thickness is 1 mile. Except for a few dry valleys, which make up about 1% of the land, the southernmost continent of Antarctica is almost entirely covered in a thick coating of ice. The ice sheet's thickness varies depending on where it is, with the East Antarctic sheet being significantly thicker than the West Antarctic sheet. The ice is often more than 1 mile thick, 1.6 kilometers, but in some places it can be nearly 3 miles thick, 4.8 kilometers. There is no official time zone in Antarctica. Since the majority of Antarctica is uninhabited, the region does not formally have time zones. However, a number of current research stations either utilize the local time of nations that are close by or the time zone of the nation that runs or supplies them. For instance, McMurdo Station observes both New Zealand Standard Time (NZST) and New Zealand Daylight Time (NZDT) when New Zealand is observing Daylight Saving Time (DST). Due to Chile's proximity to Palmer Station, an American research facility, they continue to observe Chile Summer Time (CLST). The largest known iceberg measured larger than the entirety of Jamaica. Iceberg B-15, which was around 183 miles, 295 kilometers long and 23 miles, 37 kilometers wide and had a surface area of 4,200 square miles, 11,000 square kilometers, was the largest iceberg ever discovered. It was bigger than the entire island of Jamaica. The iceberg B-15 disintegrated into smaller icebergs in 2000, then drifted out to sea. The first person to be born in Antarctica was Emilio Marcos Palma. Emilio Marcos Palma, the first person to be born on Antarctica, made history in 1978. At the Esperanza Research Base, his father oversaw the Argentine Army detachment. 10 more individuals have since been born on the continent, but Palma's birthplace continues to hold the record for being the southernmost and has been mentioned in the Guinness Book of Records. There are more than 300 large lakes beneath the ice sheet. There are already around 300 sizable bodies of water known to exist beneath the Antarctic continent. Geothermal heat and pressure, or more simply expressed, the warmth of the Earth's core, prevents them from freezing. Under the heavy ice sheet, a large hydrological network includes the lakes. Some of the lakes are known to be connected and to exchange water. The water has to remain in one spot for thousands of years because some are supposed to be completely isolated. These remote lakes may contain microbes that modern science has not yet uncovered, according to scientists. Minus 144 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 98 degrees Celsius is the lowest surface temperature ever observed on Earth. In 2013, it was believed that Antarctica had recorded the coldest surface temperature on Earth at minus 135 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 93 degrees Celsius. However, this year's study has been updated, and experts have shown that the coldest place on Earth can experience temperatures as low as minus 144 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 98 degrees Celsius. They were noticed in the winter, during the polar night. According to scientists, this record low temperature of minus 144 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 98 degrees Celsius is nearly as cold as it gets on Earth's surface. Dry air and a clear sky that lasts for several days are required for such low temperatures to occur. Even lower temperatures could result from their continued presence, although scientists don't believe this is likely to happen. US is 1.5 times the size of Antarctica. Antarctica has a surface area of approximately 5,400,000 square miles, 14 million square kilometers. Due to the ice that forms on its coasts throughout the winter, Antarctica's size doubles. The continent is 50 times larger than the United Kingdom, 1.5 times larger than the United States, and twice the size of Australia. In just 25 years, Antarctica has lost 3 trillion tons of ice due to climate change. More than 3 trillion tons of ice have been lost from Antarctica over the last 25 years. Sadly, during the past 5 years, the pace of ice loss has increased significantly. A team of 84 international experts discovered that Antarctica is currently losing ice nearly 3 times faster than it did before 2012 after examining data from numerous satellite studies from 1992 to 2017. More than 241 billion tons of ice are now anticipated to be lost annually. Winds can gust as high as 200 miles per hour. One of the windiest areas on Earth, Antarctica experiences peculiar katabatic and downslope winds. Cold temperatures and the form of the continent both have an impact on the strong winds. The fastest wind speed ever recorded was 200 miles per hour, 320 kilometers per hour, which occurred in 1972 at a French base. Contrary to popular belief, it doesn't snow there very often, but when it does, powerful gusts can sweep up the snow from the ground and move it around, giving the impression that it is snowing. That was for today. Thank you for staying with us. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel.